Three.
So this is Operation Fried Rice. We got our cadets here. We're going to get them prepped and ready for what we're getting ready to do. Hands are washed. Let's go up to our stations, please. And then we're going to go over the protocol. So the protocol is this. I'm going to do this. You're going to get my apron. Right?
Aprons are necessary.
Yeah. And why is aprons necessary, Sergeant Giggles?
For spillage
It's for extra protection.
and for burns.
Right. Even if you're in your kitchen at home, you should have a little apron that's hanging up. So, next step, we're going to put on hair nets to cover the hair. Your hair is covered, but these are the hair nets. So we have to cover our head because we do not want hair in the food.
It is an appetite killer.
So the deal is, the reason why is, and you should cover it from the front back, because your hair breaks off from the front to the back. So that's why if you're looking at kitchens, you're looking at people in the kitchen, they have a hair covering on, and it's specifically for that. The third step is going to be, we have to put our apron on. We have to put our apron on. So the third step is going to be gloves. So we have to put our gloves on next. So the gloves are right in the pans, we're good to go. And I'll help with this. I got you covered. So we have our safety on. Now today we're doing fried rice, right? Easy concept. But with all of this setup, we're going to start with some of the ingredients. So when you go to the supermarket, this is what we call ginger. So ginger is normally sold by what they call a palm. It looks like the palm of your hand. That's why they call it a palm of ginger. And how you clean ginger, clean the skin off. You don't necessarily have to clean the skin off, but it's not really edible. When we put it in drinks and stuff, we leave the skin on because that's where the most nutrients and stuff are. How you clean ginger is use a spoon. You take a spoon and scrape it, and it gets in all the nooks and crannies. You can scrape the ginger off. Second part, these are three key ingredients to a fried rice or a stir fry. We have garlic. Does anybody know what this is called when it's like this? A bulb? No. The whole thing is called a bulb because it looks like a light bulb. When you break them apart, it's a clove. So it's a bulb and then break apart, clove. With both of these things, how you can regrow them is just stick them back in the ground and they'll regrow more garlic, more ginger. The third part of this is scallions. Do you know another name for scallions? Green onion, yeah. But you have to speak up in the boot camp so people can hear you out there. So these are scallions and green onion. Typically what they do in cooking, they'll cut the green for the garnish and they'll use the white for the cooking because it's more of an onion taste to it. So we also have some chicken, some corn, peas, broccoli, carrots, peppers, some eggs is the key. So the reason we put eggs in it because it's kind of like a Chinese fried rice. I'm going to give them a demo of this. So the key, and we're going to put the burners on low because we do not want it to burn.
And you're not in a rush.
We're not in a rush. This is a cooking class. we'll come back to this one. It's not always set up perfectly every single time, but so we're going to put the flames on low heat. You're going to have to work with hers. We're going to put this flame on low heat. Right? This is the oil. We're going to put a little bit of the oil in the pan. You guys can put a little bit of the oil in the pan. So we want oil in the pan because we're going to cook the eggs. Now this is going to be the key to the eggs. I'm going to help you by putting a little bit of oil in the pan. So I'm going to crack one egg for you guys, and then you're going to do the rest. So eggs, we never crack them on any sharp part because if it's salmonella, salmonella is not in the egg, it's on the egg shell. So you should make sure the egg shell is clean. You never crack it on a sharp surface because what happens is it'll push the egg shell up into the egg, and that's how you get salmonella. You always crack eggs on a flat surface. Crack it on a flat surface, open it up, and we're good to go. You guys can put that together. You can finish up with it. There we go.
You're doing wonderful, recruits.
So we're good. So the next step to this, did we get to that one? The next step to this is scrambling the eggs. So my background in cooking is French. If you're scrambling an egg and there's any white that's showing in the egg while it's scrambled or after you cook it, you're in big trouble. So the whole key is to understanding how to scramble egg. That's why I brought forks with me. Because not only are we going to scramble the eggs, when we're scrambling them, we're mixing air into the eggs. That's what makes eggs fluffy. So it's this kind of thing. So you want to do it, do you see what I mean about the whites? You see the white still showing in the egg? We don't want that. We want it completely yellow. So you guys work on that. But look how I'm holding the bowl. Right, look how I'm holding the bowl. You see?
Slight angle.
On a slight angle and mixing it generously. Mm-hmm. Yeah, make sure you hear it. You see? But you see how it's changing the color of the egg? All right, I like it so far. Okay. All right, good, 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 good. Let me hit it one more time. I was a breakfast chef in a 5-star restaurant, and eggs were a big deal. You know, in the restaurant, when you see, in the French restaurant, when you see the guys with the tall hats, there's a reason behind that. There's 100 creases in the hat. So if you learn how to make eggs 100 different ways, or you learn 100 recipes, no,
You get the hat? Really?
you get the hat.
That's
Yeah.
pretty funny.
Yeah. So all right, we're mixing it enough. So we're gonna add the eggs to the oil. Right in. You heard that sound? That means that it was hot enough. Yeah. Let me take the mixing bowls from you. All right, so we're good. So
Always work clean.
Always work clean and organized. They call that mise en place in French cuisine, having everything set up and organized. Let's get half of your rice right into the eggs. Half of the rice right into the eggs. That's good. That's good. That's good. So now that we have half the rice into the eggs, we're going to mix the rice and the eggs together until it's almost cooked completely. Take your time. Take your time. We don't want to slosh it all over the place. But you see how it's cooking? Yeah. And you see the key to it was having the stoves on low heat, or else the eggs are going to burn, the rice is going to burn, and that's not what we want. So we're looking good so far. We're looking good so far. Yeah. So mix it. It's a process. It's not an easy thing to just throw it in there, walk away, and then get it done. Now we have the garlic and the ginger. We're going to add some of the garlic, and it's at your discretion how much garlic and ginger you use.
How much of a fan you are?
Yeah. So the garlic and the ginger is right in front of you guys. So add like a spoonful of garlic and ginger. Or how much you like garlic and ginger. I love both of them, so I added a good amount. So we add some ginger. Yeah, and make sure, please make sure, in order for this to work right and for the flavor to be there has to be fresh ginger, fresh garlic. And you should have these things in your refrigerator, not all the time, but most of the time. Yep, try to keep it cool. All right, the eggs are cooking. We want to do this until the eggs are completely done, because we do not want to eat raw eggs. See how you see the eggs are cooking into? Yeah. Now we can do one or two things. I'm a fan of vegetables. The Grill Sergeant Kitchen Boot Camp is a big fan of vegetables. You can put what vegetables you want in it. I suggest putting them all to get the key flavor of everything. So we can start adding our chicken first, which is here.
Yes, gotta add that protein.
Yeah. And then it doesn't necessarily have to be chicken. It can be some sort of protein. It doesn't have to be chicken, fish, meat. It could be tofu. It can be Beyond Meat. It can be like any of these other things. The key thing, or it can just be vegetables, right? You might want just want vegetables.
But the chicken's already cooked, right? So
The chicken is already cooked, and another key thing, is two key things to this fried rice. There's two key things to this fried rice. One is, in order for it to come out right, the rice almost has to be 2 or 3 days old. Meaning it'll be leftover rice from your refrigerator. And the reason why, once it's sitting in your refrigerator for a few days, it's going to be dried out. So we're rehydrating the dried rice. If you use it with rice you just cooked, you're going to notice that the rice is going to break up, right? The rice is going to break up because it's too moist. So it needs to be dry. And the chicken, it can be leftover chicken, or you can grab an already roasted chicken in the supermarket if you want to do something really quick, fast, and easy for the kids. So you see how it's coming together? So we add all the vegetables to it while constantly stirring it. The key is to constantly stir it.
Why is that, Chef? You want to disperse the flavor throughout the whole pot?
Exactly, you answered your own question. You want all of the flavor to go throughout the whole fried rice. So when you're eating it, you can taste all of the flavors that you put in it. I want you to be able to taste the carrots, taste the corn, taste the peas. But if you have it lumped up in one side, it's not going to come out right. It's looking good over here. Safety tips. Let's go through a couple safety tips. Knives and stuff in the kitchen. We deal with knives a certain kind of way in the kitchen. Always away from you. If you're carrying a knife, carry it down. Don't never carry it up. Right? We talked about hair nets, protecting your hair. We talked about aprons, giving you an extra layer of clothing. In the restaurant, when you have, a lot of guys have beards. So this is what we call a beard guard. Because remember, we do not want hair in the food, right? Wash your hand, 20 seconds, dry them, gloves on. Whenever you're using gloves, every time you do a different project, you have to take the gloves off, disregard them, wash your hands again, let them dry, and then put another pair of gloves on. So everything looking good. We have the vegetables mixed up. We have that. Good. We have the vegetable mixed up. We made sure that we cooked it enough for the eggs to be cooked, because don't nobody like raw eggs. And then in French cooking, we're going to do what we call the piece de resistance, which is the last element of it. So instead of doing it in the middle, because when you do it in the middle, it's pushing it up to the side. So you do this. You do it around the outside of the rim. And what we call in cooking is kind of folded. You do outside and then fold it. This way it don't go all over the place. Then you do another flip and everything. But that's another day. But you do another flip. And as you can see as I'm flipping it, you see how the rice is loose? If it was already cooked rice, it would have been one glob because there's too much moisture in the rice. That's why I say it has to be rice that's sitting around for about 2-3 days. So we have everything mixed up. Let's get a close-up of that. It looks really good to me. Good. Now the last step to this is my pad thai sauce. Of course, in the supermarket, they have a lot of these sauces that you can buy. It's nothing like making it fresh yourself. You have the ginger, you have the garlic. That's all you have to have in your pantry. Sesame oil, soy sauce. No, it's not soy sauce. It's
Also,
Right. Soy sauce, some sugar, honey. I'll put the recipe out, but some sugar, honey, and mix it all together. And we got a pad thai sauce.
So, Chef, this recipe has been declassified. It's ready to go.
Declassified, yes it is. So it's pretty much like pouring the amount that you want over it. But what you want to do before that, hold on, before that, because what happens is the oil is lighter than the soy sauce, so it's going to go to the bottom. So what we want to do is mix it, and then add it. So we can add, and the sauce is at your discretion too. Yep. And I can almost guarantee you guys, you never had anything like this.
Sounds
Guarantee
good.
you. You smell it?
Smells good, yeah.
Yeah. That's because the fresh ingredients. So we're gonna do that. And what we did, we brought chopsticks to give a chopstick 101 lesson. Normally with chopsticks, you wanna use a pair that's like wooden. If it's plastic or anything like that, the food is gonna slip off of it. When you have wooden chopsticks, it's gonna hold together. So the way I use mine like I'm almost writing something with a pencil. So that's one part of the chopstick with this guide in it. And then I slide that underneath. And then we do
The pinching motion.
the pinching motion.
Oh,
But I did bring forks for you non-chopstick users. So we can do that. Now I think we're good to go. Everything is nicely mixed, is put together. We can turn the flame off, that's the next step. And then for you guys that want to use the chopsticks, we can break out the chopsticks, but I did bring forks for everyone else. Now let's taste your own food. This is your own creation. Mine is different because in French cooking, what I was guaranteed to do is not learn how to cook. They showed me how food works. When you learn how food works, it's kind of changed the whole dynamic of you creating a dish. Now, go from one person to the next person so they can tell us how
your unsolicited testimonial.
Good stuff. Yeah.
and what you can do to add even more flavor is just pour a little bit of the sauce over the top of it. And there we are. We went through our regimen of how to make fried rice. Another key part to this is, it doesn't necessarily have to be rice. It can be stuff that you have up in the cupboard, right? You can use some kind of noodle, which is different than pasta. You can use a ramen noodle. You can change the game and go to the supermarket and go into the Asian section of the supermarket, udon noodles and
Rice
stuff like
noodles?
that.
Lo mein?
Rice noodle, ramen noodles, pasta. It's endless how you can put this together. I don't want you guys to run out and go get this, and that. This is using the leftover stuff that you have in the refrigerator and is using what you had stored in the cupboards. How's everything? Well, I think somebody likes theirs.
That's good. I think it's a little slimy still. I think it needs to be cooked.
If it is slimy, that means that the eggs are not cooked enough. Turn it back on, medium heat, stir fry it a little more.
Good stuff, thank you.
So that's good. So any more information that you guys need, you can contact us on Chef Larry's Creations to get to the Grill Sergeant Kitchen Boot Camp. Check you guys out later.